What's up? What's up? It's Bruce Hill, New Skills, New You. Hold on a second. We're waiting for the YouTube stream to pop up. Happy Saturday, y'all. All right, brilliant. So, welcome to Sales Support Saturday, where we teach you sales strategy to help you grow your business one conversation at a time. You can have more than one conversation at a time. I'm not saying you can, but I am saying that each one's got to count. Otherwise, you're talking to yourself. So, for Sales Support Saturday, I want to teach you sales strategy I learned in a tech startup. It was a global startup. It was enterprise level sale, which meant that we're usually looking at $50,000 or more per year, right, for a client. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all worried about this little $50? Like, oh, is $1,000 too much? Just make sure the value exceeds the cost, and you can charge whatever you want. Now, we'll get to this as part of the strategy. Finding the person to pay whatever you want is going to be the hard part. So it's got to be strategic, right? No pun intended. Sales Support Saturday, in effect. You hear me type it, I'm just taking notes for the folks who are sharing screen on YouTube at newskillsnewyou.com. And what I love most about this is to help you. Okay, it's not for me. There's no sales pitch at the end. I'll tell you something if you want. If you need something, I got you. But the goal is for you to stop struggling with sales, stop being traumatized by sales, to have actionable steps that you can take and apply to your business the same day. Okay, not tomorrow, not next week. You got to go buy some fancy equipment, buy some software, or spend years studying. No, what can I teach you today that will make you money today? One of my favorite questions. And so I'm gonna write a book on this. Somebody remind me to write a book on this. Here's the sales strategy. Here's all of it, and then we'll go backwards and break it down. First question you need to ask yourself in your sales strategy is who, what, and how. Okay, who do you serve? What problem do we solve? How do we serve them? Okay. The next thing is your problem statement, and honestly, there's a whole training on that. I might have done one. Go check the YouTube channel. It may be on there. Then a solution statement. Why is the problem statement first? Because solutions are useless without problems. What's the solution? Like if you have a bottle of Advil, ibuprofen, Aleve, doesn't matter. If you have some headache medicine, it's going to sit on the shelf until you have a headache, right? That's when it becomes useful. So have a problem statement first. Hey, I have a headache. The solution statement here, take this headache medicine. So many businesses I see do really, really well about sharing their solution, but the customer doesn't even know what the problem is. And you're like, oh, it should be obvious. And no, it shouldn't be obvious. Because nope, we're not going to get distracted. All right, who, what, how, problem statement, solution statement. And you know what's funny? All of these are going to be the exact same thing in my book. The next thing I want to teach you for your strategy is pre-sales. What happens before they buy? What happens before they click the button, hop on a call with you? What happens before the sale? And this is a game changer. If you learn to do that, you're going to wow the customer. They're going to be excited to buy with you. They're going to be excited to work with you. And you're going to spend more time serving, less time selling, because you're going to have people ready to sign up to work with you. And it all starts with the problem you solve. All right, so pre-sales and then sales call. I already did the training on this one, and I recorded it as a digital course. It's called Turning Conversation into Clients. Right? How many times have you had a call? Maybe it's a discovery call, and it's a 15-minute discovery call. You're on the phone, you're talking, it's your ideal client, you're excited. You're like, oh, this is exactly who I help. They have the problem I know how to solve. And you're already counting the dollars. You're like, yes, this is gonna be good. And you're already sitting time in your calendar. All right, I'm working on this weekend. We're gonna start here. And about 43 minutes goes by. It turns into like impromptu coaching session. And it doesn't turn into a sale. It doesn't turn into a client. Does that ever happen to you? Like, you're like, what happened? They say everything but yes. They say, oh, thank you so much. It's been super helpful. I'm ready to come back. I'm ready to get started. I need to think about it. Anything but yes. Anything but here's my card. If that's happened to you, we need to teach you how to turn conversations into clients, okay? Because not only are you wasting time and energy, you're losing money because you're taking an action that doesn't move you closer to your goal. It doesn't move your clients closer to your goal. So you lose twice. All right. So the pre-sales and sales calls and the after the call. So there's three ways a call can go, right? It can be positive, hey, they signed up, or at least they committed to saying, hey, I can start on the 15th, I get my next paycheck, whatever. Positive, or our budget cycles, in June, whatever the case. It can be negative. No, this isn't our fit, it's not what we're looking for, it's out of budget, whatever the case. They say no. They can be neutral. Neutral is usually the hardest to deal with because they're not sure where they are. And when that happens, it's usually a case of education. And then it may be you miss some opportunities to listen, to understand what the real problem is, what the real concerns are, what the real goals are. And that's where they didn't make a decision. Your goal is how to make a decision. We would love for that decision to be yes, but that's not the point. How do we help them make the best decision for them? And sometimes that's not working with us. That's okay. I just wrote an article literally yesterday on how to deal with rejection. And the first thing to understand is they're not rejecting you. They just don't need the solution that you're offering. And so if you decide to take that personal, that's your personal business. Most of the time, you say, hey, you want some Advil? Just say, oh, no, I don't have a headache. And go and cry like, oh, they don't want our product. They're mad at me. They don't like me. No, they just don't have a headache. Don't take it personally. And so I really want folks, and it's going to help you overcome that fear of sales, to realize that rejection isn't personal 99% of the time. And you taking it personally is giving yourself undue emotional stress. Okay, go find someone that has a headache and give them the headache medicine. Give them a leaf, whatever the case may be. Give them options. Say, hey, listen, you want an extra strength, long lasting? And those people are going to be so excited to hear from you. They're like, oh, wow, I needed this. I needed your help. I'm so excited to hear it. And you're not going to have to argue with them and convince them. And that's a beautiful thing. That's when you start to hear yes more often without sounding salesy. All right. Okay, beautiful. So let's keep going. So the simple creating a sales strategy for your business. This works best for service-based business, right? My coaches, my speakers, consultants, my SaaS startups. I love a good tech startup. That's been a lot of fun for me. A barber can use this, absolutely. That's a service. Because people say, oh, well, I could get it cheaper over here. What's up, Seven? Oh, I could spend less over here. But the thing is, people don't pay for the result. They pay for the transformation. What do I mean by that? People don't pay a haircut because they want a haircut. People pay for the haircut because they want to feel good about how they look. They want other people to like how they look, right? They're paying for the haircut because, man, I got a wedding coming up. Maybe we outside this weekend, right? I'm going on vacation. So it's not that they just want to get rid of their hair. That is the result. That's the tangible result. And this is where people fail at selling. It's because, oh, I'm going to cut a haircut. It's going to take 25 minutes. The line's going to be crispy. And it's going to be great. And it's $70. And they're like, But if you say, hey, you're going to be the best looking person at the wedding when this haircut is done, that's a transformation. People will be excited about that. And then the flip side of that, the problem is that, hey, if you don't get your haircut with me, it's going to be crooked. You're going to look like a bum. You're going to feel like a bum. And you're going to embarrass yourself at the wedding, at the event you're going to. So now write this down. Problems are the reason people pay. I can't cut my haircut myself as well as the barber can. I can't fill in the blank as well as you can. Or I don't want to take the time to do it. Some people will pay you for the time. The problem is they don't have time to get to the transformation that they desire. So when you're creating a sales strategy, let's go back to who do you serve? I serve service-based businesses that with no dedicated sales team, or I should say small or no sales team, no dedicated team. So that means that a lot of people are wearing multiple hats, okay? Seeking to scale by 10x. I want people with some audacious goals. I want people with big, hairy, audacious goals. So what does that look like? I had a client, small team, about 5 people, and she was building her firm, but she ran into a challenge at the top of the year with some disputes. Okay, stay with me. So what she didn't realize, it was showing up in how she talked on the calls. She was afraid to ask for the money. And it's reasonable because I don't know if you had to deal with disputes. I hope you never do. It's a headache and a hassle. And so she was letting people decide when they wanted to work with her. And so we did three things, excuse me. The first was we taught her to listen. If you can listen, you can sell. And this is part of the strategy. We're talking about who right now. I'm giving an example, and you're going to hear what, and you're going to hear how. I taught her to listen. This is how we're serving her. If you can listen, you can sell. Because what happens is people will tell you your problems and then you go solve them. And people are like, oh, thank you so much. And you're like, you're welcome. Here's your bill. So the second thing we did, we taught her to ask better questions. This goes in line with with listening, because listening is, right? And because you ask great questions, they tell you the answer, you're listening to the answer, and now you understand their problem, you can make a great offer. Then the next thing was, so now more of her conversations were turning into clients. The next thing was, this is where sales strategy comes in. It was having a clear sales process. For her, that was an invoice. She wasn't doing that, so give her credit, but we're not doing cash out. I think Zelle Business, it can be used if you're doing like point of sales. But we're not doing, don't Venmo me. Is it Venmo Business? Doesn't matter. I use Stripe. I recommend you use a professional payment processor. QuickBooks is good. QuickBooks helps protect you as the business. I think PayPal is definitely more the client side, the consumer side. They protect the consumer more. And then having agreements in place. So what happened was she had a lot more confidence in the call. She understood, because she was listening, hey, this is a good fit or a bad fit. So she could avoid headaches. And so she was only working with clients that she was excited to work with, that she could help a lot, not a little bit, a lot, to get them results. And we haven't had any issues since. That was almost a year ago. And yes, I actually found this out today. I don't know why she didn't tell me this. Apparently, she was using what I taught her, having that clear sales process. And the end result was she had her first 5-figure day. I thought, it works if you do the work. So who is that service-based business, a small and no dedicated sales team? That's her, right? She's seeking to scale by 10x. Check. That's who. And write this down. The clearer you are about who you serve, the easier it is to find them. Because you say, oh, I help everybody. Well, no, you don't, because you don't have the capacity to sell everybody. And then everybody doesn't even need what you're selling. So that doesn't make sense. And then third, a lot of the people, millions, billions, don't even speak the same language as you. So you say you help everybody, but you can't even speak their language. How are you supposed to help them? So you got to be specific. The more clear you are on who you serve, the easier it is to find where they are. The what do? I make sales simple. I make sales simple. What does that mean? I already told you about the problems I solve. We're wasting time having conversations that don't turn into clients. We're having conversations with the ideal people, but they're not becoming clients, leaving us frustrated and broke, right? We don't want to become salespeople. I don't want to be a killer closer. I don't want to be the master manipulator. I'm just trying to run my business. I'm just trying to grow my business by 10x. So how do we do that? Well, we make sales simple. We make it easy for your clients to do business with you, making it easy to predict your revenue on a monthly basis. That's what we do. We make sales simple. In the corporate world, that's called sales enablement. But I make sales simple, just make everybody gets them. So now, how are we going to do that? We generally do. There's 4 ways to work with this. There's Sales Support Saturday, right? You can tap in ineedsalessupport.com. That's one, and there's no cost to that. So don't let money be the excuse you don't make money. Don't do that. There's digital courses. Those are great, learn on your own, very cost effective. Links in the bio. There is one-on-one coaching, or I should say consulting, because We're not just going to tell you what to do. We're going to help you get it done. We believe in results. One of my favorite stories, working with a client right now, and we set up a CRM. You got the leads in there, working on email automation next. Okay, we're going to make sure you get results, tangible results at the end of working with us, and say, hey, here's what Bruce did. We need to just talk about our feelings. Here's some results that impact my business and my business revenue. And then last but not least, we do workshops and live panels, like in person. Sometimes you got to get in person. So that's how we do it. How do you serve your customers? Look, this isn't a commercial. I'm just going to lead by example. How are we going to help them? How are they going to get the transformation that they desire? So that's who, what, and how. So let's keep going to the problem statement. This is one of my favorite trainings to do. The problem statement. Most of the time, I ask people for the problem they solve, and they tell me the solutions. Here's how that sounds. Hey, what problem do you solve? Oh, our headache medicine is a small round capsules. They're opaque white. They're flavorless, odorless, and colorless, usually round one. Now, what are you talking about? What problem do you solve? Hey, we get rid of your headache. I don't know. Why didn't you say so? I'll take two. And it's a lot easier to gain a new client when you solve their problems first. So problem is their headache. You hear people call it their headache, no pun intended. Their pain, their frustration. What else? What else? Oh, their obstacles, challenges. Whatever words you use, this is where you want to focus. It helps in your language. If you're a social media content creator, it helps in your language. Have you ever struggled with? Do you find such and such a problem? And you're creating engaging reels where people are going to watch them. They're going to watch them. And then if it's the right person, this is the beautiful thing about it. The wrong person is like, oh, that's not for me. It keeps growing. But the right person, listen and say, hey, wait, I have that problem. What do I do next? And that's where the how comes in. How are people going to work with you? They got to have a next step. And that could be, hey, I need salessupport.com, right? Let's go get some free trainings every week so we can create sales success for our business. What is your how? How can people work with you? And the reason people are going to work with you is because they have a problem that you solve. How do they know what problem you solve? You tell them. Tell them what problem you solve. Don't keep it a secret. I don't even know. I don't understand where it happens. Maybe they just haven't learned. Maybe they just need, they need to hop on our Saturday call. But when you start with a problem, the challenge they face, the frustration they have, the obstacles in their way, and you say, hey, if this is you, you should work with me. You're going to hear yes more often. And you're not going to sound salesy. You're going to sound like they're saving grace. You're going to sound like they're a hero, they're a knight in shining armor, not to perpetuate gender stereotypes in the patriarchy, right? But you're gonna come to the rescue. They're like, oh man, where have you been? I needed this. And so now your conversations you have, your sales calls, don't feel like you're trying to convince them or bullying them into making a choice. They're just figuring out, hey, what payment options do you have? And that's such a beautiful place to be, because even the most shy introvert feels good about helping someone, and they can feel confident and say, hey, I'm really making a difference in this person's life or business. And when you focus on the problem, if that person, that client wants to get rid of it, you're not going to have to argue with them. You just have to, you're going to figure out, hey, where can we connect? What's the best solution for you, right? Do you just need the free trainings on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays? Okay, go to ineedsalessupport.com. Hey, do you want to study on your own? Grab a digital product. Here's what I recommend. Hey, do you need some one-on-one help? Hey, look at some of our monthly recurring options, right? You have to have a way for each client to work with you, because as they're in different stages in their journey, they may have a different problem at different degrees. And when you have a solution that meets them where they are, you can grow your business more effectively. So, you know what we want to do? I think tomorrow we'll do a training on picking the perfect price. Somebody remind me. Actually, no, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I will create it right now so I don't forget. So I'm going to create a Google Doc real quick. This is a secret. Success loves speed. Sales Success Sunday. That's the 3rd of September, 2023. All right, boom. I'm gonna open that tomorrow, and I'm like, oh, hey, what's this? And we'll talk about picking a price. And the thing is I like to use pricing tiers. I like to give everyone an option to spend as much as or as little as they want. How we do that? We'll talk about it tomorrow. Tap in, follow us on New Skills New You on YouTube. Like and subscribe, tell a friend. All right, let's keep going. So we have the problem statement. Let's start the solution statement. So a solution statement, most people naturally figure out. You say, hey, what do you do? Right? I make sales simple. That's a solution statement. It implies that sales are a problem, but I don't want you to imply or suggest, insinuate, or hint at the problem. We want you to talk about the problem out loud. Listen, right now, your sales process or lack of it is making it difficult for your customers to work with you. It's causing you a headache. It's costing you time. You need sales success. Okay, tap in. I'm Bruce Hill, New Skills to You. I make sales simple, right? So my problem statement goes before my solution statement, and it makes the solution statement that much more powerful. So the solution statement is your introduction. What do they call it? Elevator pitch. Elevator pitch. Listen, I'm a sales professional, not a spelling bee champion. Thank goodness for autocorrect. Some people call it your handshake sentence. I feel like I made that up. Solution statement, I'm not going to spend a lot of time because you all, hey, what do you do? One of my favorites, shout out to Brand Networks, Brandy. She teaches people how to build a carbon business debt free. And I said, man, that's good. That's a really good niche, right? Who wouldn't have someone who wants to create some income? Right? We're gonna build through. We're gonna create how debt free. That's brilliant. So we came up with the slogan, a catchphrase, right? Turning cash cars into cash flow. Yes, someone let us work. And then shout out to Charles, real Tide billionaire on all platforms. He helps people take small money, turn it into big money with options trading, right? I was like, oh, these are gold. Those are great solution statements. They're catchy, they're easy to remember, but we cannot forget about the problems that they solve. Okay, all right. Solution statement. I think that's enough on that, right? It's good. Any questions? Let's see here. Oh, pre-sales. So pre-sales. So this is what happens. Someone says to you, hey, that sounds pretty good. How do I learn more? And this goes right back to the how. We talked about, hey, what's the next step? So we figure out who, someone has a problem solved, figure out what, that's your solution. How do they work with you? That's the next steps. Got it? Good. So we say, hey, listen, schedule a call, go to BruceHill.online, schedule a call, and we'll get started, right? So here's what happens. There's 3 things that happens. One, it's easy. Okay, there's no back and forth. Are you free on Wednesday? No, Wednesday is work week. What about Thursday? Oh, Thursday could work. What about 2 p.m.? That's too late. We do something early in the morning. 11? That's too late. What about 8? Oh, 8 p.m. is too early. Let's do this. We're not doing that. Go to BruceHill.online, schedule a call. Done. Now, number 2 to that is I capture the name, email, and phone number. Capture information. Okay. This is where you're going to build a business, is through contact information. It's a whole nother training, but literal millions were built. There's no product, or I should say the product is the information. It's another conversation for another day. So that's 1, it's easy. 2, collect their information, because if they forget, if they're like, life happens, life be lifing, you can reach out to them, and that's huge. And I teach you how to do that in a respectful way. And then last but not least, it allows you to introduce them, to educate and indoctrinate them on what you do. So for example, if you click solution calls and ask you a few pre-screening questions, that's part of pre-sales. It's going to send you to a video. That's part of pre-sales. And the next thing I'm building, my platform just released this. I can set up some emails prior to that conversation and say, hey, here's a case study of where we help someone like you. Check it out, right? Click here below. And I'm gonna try and have that done by tomorrow so y'all can see it, right? And then I'm gonna do, hey, here's the time. I taught a workshop. You can watch it before a call. So what happens is, before they get on the call, they already know who you serve, what you do, and how you're gonna help. So now you spend the call just learning about them, and this is where your sales calls end up so long. It's because you're spending so much time educating them on the call when they should already know before you get to the call. And that's why they leave without saying yes, because they have so much information to process, their head is dizzy. I'm actually going to stop right there. I think we're going to do one on pre-sales and workshop Wednesday. We're going to help you set up your pre-sales for your business. So if you take a discovery consulting call for your clients, I want you to sign up. I need salessupport.com. There's no cost or commitment. Okay. So don't let money be the reason you don't make money. And on Wednesday, we'll walk you through how to create a pre-sale strategy for your business. All right, I'm Bruce New Skills New You. You make sales simple, helping service-based businesses achieve sales success. They no longer struggle with sales, traumatized by the active selling. They spend more time serving and less time selling. All right, until next time, cheers to your sales success. Peace.